Hi there, it's Lynn, and I wanted to do um, quite a quite a video really on something that's really important that is not spoken about enough, and I'm going to talk about it today and just inform you of um, what is going on with this. And I'm talking about Freemasonry energy, being a Freemason. And we know that it's a worldwide organisation. We know that it originated in the UK in the 1700s, around 1717, 1714, in the reign of George I in the United Kingdom in England. And there are rumours that originally Freemasonry was founded by Saint Germain or Sir Francis Bacon, Francis Bacon, who is supposed to be an incarnation of Saint Germain, who is an ascended master. And there are rumours that it was inverted after that date. Originally, it was put together as a fraternity of light, and to be a place of acknowledging Source, Prime Creator, and working together as a brotherhood. Of course, it was hijacked, and we don't all have the full story, but it was hijacked very early on and was then starting to be sort of infiltrated by dark lords and black magicians. And what I mean by that is this all relates to earlier times of the 1600s in Elizabeth I's reign in the UK, and we had John Dee, who was a big court magician, and there was lots of others behind it. And there was a lot of black magic going on then. There's been black magic going on since the year dot. And there was a lot of sort of hidden stuff going on. A lot of secret societies, a lot of secrets passed down from one generation to another. So, Freemasonry energy. Now, I am not saying that those that come in on the first degree of Freemasonry or second really know what they're letting themselves in for. They do not know. They do not realize that there is a whole dark agenda running in the higher echelons of that society, which is very, very dark and satanic. Freemasonry energy is linked to satanic ritual abuse, which is ritual abuse. Now, Freemasonry energy, again, is using black magic to sort of encapture a soul when they take the initiations of Freemasonry on any level, whether they know it or not. As I say, I'm not saying that people don't join for the right reasons. They join to help their businesses. They join to have a society of people together. They join to do charity work. Absolutely. And on the front of that, there is a lot going on in behind the scenes. Once you take a degree of Freemasonry and you commit to the constitution of Freemasonry and the initiations that come through the degrees of Freemasonry, you are subject to a soul contract. And that soul contract is dark. And then it opens you up to other levels of possession, right, of dark entities, spirits, demons, God knows what else, and also leaves you open as a contract for abuse. Now, very often Freemasonry runs down families, and families will not realise that their grandparents or great-grandparents or their uncles or even their fathers have been in Freemasonry. I am a prime example of that. I'm only talking about this because I've experienced of it and I've lived it. And I've been subject to Freemasonry abuse and satanic ritual abuse. So I know what I'm talking about. Freemasonry, right, will be kept secret quite often because those are the vows that you take. It also has found its way into other secret societies. And it's found its way in via other initiations and oaths that people have taken in old societies dating back last century or so, especially linked to the Golden Dawn, the Alpha and the Omega, the Stella Matutina, laws of societies, which were the old occult esoterical societies, are linked to Freemasonry in one way or another. And you may disagree with me if you know something about that, but do you know what? 3 of the main founders of those other societies actually were Freemasons. So that energy was already coming in to that society. And I was a member of one of those societies last lifetime. So, I sort of, I've had recall of some of that. So this is what happens. And then it's almost like there is an energetic branding put into your energy field that gives the Freemasonry symbol within it, the compass, yeah, that we all recognize. And also it's sort of insidiously been put into many other sort of logos and things that we wouldn't even look at and really recognize, but actually it's there on a subconscious level. So what I want to talk about is there are ways to get out of Freemasonry contracts. In my past of doing this work for 14 years, including clearing my own soul contracts and clearing my own blueprint of abuse and satanic ritual abuse and being used by the Freemasons, I have and know how to get out of the Freemasonry contracts and the initiations and the degrees, and also how to clear the Freemasonry energy out of your soul matrix. So if you've had a grandfather who's a Freemason, if you've had an uncle I've had 2 uncles that were Freemasons that I found out about, and there was more than that going on. I tell you, there was more than that, I now realise, a lot more in my family. You will, and you feel that something may have gone on. Maybe you feel overshadowed. Maybe you feel that you're not comfortable with that energy, and that energy is around you in one way or another. You can do some superconscious statements, and if you claim your soul sovereignty, your divine soul sovereignty, you can clear any energy that might be hovering. Is especially important for all those that have been through satanic ritual abuse, that they clear the Freemasonry energy. And there are very now amazing ways of doing that. It's entirely possible to clear it out of your energy field and matrix completely, and to cut cords and to clear any silent contracts that might be running for one reason or another that you are not aware of. Once you take the Freemasonry degrees and initiations, they are for life and for perpetuity, which is for eternity. They roll on from one lifetime to another. They don't end on one lifetime. I discovered that myself. So actually, that made me more susceptible to being attacked by Freemasons and that energy, because I went through the Golden Dawn last lifetime. And because the Golden Dawn and the initiations from the Golden Dawn on some base were built on Freemasonry energy and initiations, not all of them, but some of them, that opened me up to that energy. That's what I absolutely, totally believe. this lifetime. So it's very important that you clear anything that you may suspect be running in regards to Freemasonry energy in your energy field. So if that's resonating with you, then there are super conscious you can do. You claim soul sovereignty and you actually clear that energy from you. Also, there is, as I say, a darker element running behind the higher layers of the 33rd degree Freemason and beyond. And actually, there are lots of people that go in for the right reasons. That's what I'm saying. They're good people. They go in for the right reasons and they get hoodwinked. But there are lots of people that go in as well that know what they're doing. And they will be doing all sorts of stuff behind the scenes or behind their backs that they don't even realize they're doing. And the energy, sort of intensifies as you go up in level, I presume, and you are really contracted to a huge level as each degree you go in higher and higher and higher. It's that will be eradicated. I'm sure at some point that energy and that society will have to stop and shut down at some point on our pathway to ascension on this planet. And when people really realise what it's being used for and a front for, which is child abuse and all sorts of horrible things, then the tables will turn and we will get resolution for that on a planetary level. But I have had experience of working with people that have gone into the Freemasonry levels and initiations and have felt terrible and actually felt that their life force and their energy was being drained as soon as they took the initiations. I've dealt with someone, a woman, that experienced that and was brought up in a family of Freemasons. There you go, right? Okay, so I've got experience of that, and I've got experience of others that have been through Freemasonry initiations, and definitely has opened them up to psychic abuse and abduction contracts and all sorts of other things. So there's a lot more I could say about this. I'm just keeping it general. As I say, I am saying that lots of people go in and don't realise what actually is going on. And, you can have a whole bunch of people on the lower layers doing amazing work and not realising what's going on behind the scenes in the higher layers, which is horrific. And they use it as a front for abuse of children, ritual abuse of children, to produce, of course, the black magic power that they need to be able to then control governments and institutions and corporations, to blackmail other major players. It just goes on and on and on. Judges, police officers, main figures in society being members. It just goes on and on and on. And that energy is real, it's true, it's raw, it's dark. And the more lighter you are, the more you're on your spiritual pathway, and you link into that energy for any reason, you'll realise and feel it and feel what it feels like, which is not very nice. For those that are sleepers, unawakened, not really very energetically feeling, maybe disconnected from the psychic senses and intuition and heart, they're not going to really realise what they've walked into in any shape or form. So just giving you a guide, really, that if you're a healer and you come across a client who has been exposed to Freemasonry abuse or Freemasonry family background in any way, they need to lift that off. And there is, as I say, I've got Freemasonry rescinding statements to help. Just get in touch and I will assist you with that. And it's very important that you claim soul sovereignty. If you feel that you have been messed around with by Freemasons, or you may have had some run-ins with that energy and you just don't know what quite went on, or you feel you're getting a bad feeling about it, or you've had dreams about it, or whatever it is, just open your mind a little bit. And if you need any assistance, let me know. It's as I say, a heavy subject. I could go in and say a lot more, but I'm just being just aware that people may not want to really get into the depths of what goes on. But I'm just skimming the surface for you there, of how incestuous this energy is, how insidious it is, how dark it is. I have, I could tell you some stories of my experience of run-ins with them, and the sort of be quiet, shh, sort of energy. All everything's secret, everything's hush hush. You can't talk about it. You can't. Yeah, it's all dark. It's not right. It is not for this day and age now. It's not for New Earth, and it can't be allowed to be carried on to New Earth, and it won't be. And if you feel, as I say, you're overshadowed by that energy in any way, if you've had family members that have made vows and also initiations, if you feel you've inherited family items which relate to Freemasonry, offload them, get rid of them. For God's sake, get rid of those items in every shape and form. And yeah, just giving you a bit of awareness of it and how deep and dark it goes. There's a lot more to it than this, and it's something that people can be a bit naive about in the nicest way, but they can be very naive about what actually is going on in this world. And we really have to be aware of how serious and the energy, how dark it is. And it really is something that has to go, and it will go at some point for sure. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I've personal experience of this, that's why I'm talking about it. I've seen it, I've witnessed it. I've had to deal with people that have had to experience the Freemasonry energy at its worst, and how horrible it is. Very much I realised that when I was just sort of coming up with my memories, which was quite a few years ago now, when I started to recover my dissociative memories from satanic ritual abuse as a young child, I kept dreaming about the sort of images of Freemasonry, not knowing why. They do this Horus resurrecting uh, initiation and ceremonies. They do all sorts of things. I kept dreaming of that, and I now know that was linked to the Freemasonry energy, and I just didn't realise that it was. So just be aware of that, and just as I say, if you need any assistance, just let me know. But just be aware that it isn't a good thing, and it needs to be cleared. If you ever come across it, or you feel that it's affecting you in some way, and please just give your empathy to others that have had experience of this. This is real. This is not made up. This isn't fear. This isn't panic. This isn't survival mode. This is the true and authentic and real truth of what's going on in this world, and it needs to be revealed and outed. And the more people talk about it, the better we will be for it. So, and I just want to put my contribution in to stopping the abuse of children and young men and women, And whoever gets abused by this energy or controlled or oppressed in any way, and what part I play in it, I hope helps in some way. And as I say, it's real. It's not. It's not being paranoid. It's real. I've experienced it. I have met countless others. I've met hundreds and hundreds of starseeds and light workers and others that have been at the receiving end of this energy, and it's real. And as I say, if you feel you've been affected by it in any way, then there are ways to clear it, offload it, and take it out of your field and any baggage you may be carrying from it. So, with that, I just want to say thank you for listening. Not too long a video. Thank you for listening. Lots of love and take care.